This is Dream Power Radio, the place where your dreams turn into reality. Here is your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Dream Power Radio. I'm your host, certified dream life coach, Debbie Spector-Weissman. This is a place where we talk about dreams, both daytime and nighttime dreams, and how you can use them to make the internal shift to a life you love and rediscover the truth of who you really are. And if you're a woman, that definition is going to change naturally as you age. For instance, a few months ago, I devoted an entire episode to the subject of menstruation, something we all go through and something that was rarely discussed in a public forum for most of my life and still doesn't get talked about that much today. And yet, our periods help define us in so many ways we may not realize. I know I just sort of took my period for granted and didn't give that much thought to how it affected me. But my guest on that episode showed me how by paying more attention to our body changes, we can get a deeper connection to our soul. And I'm certainly all for that. Well, today we're going to shift the focus to the other end of the reproductive cycle, menopause. This phase also has profound ramifications for women in so many different ways. And it's only in recent years that more attention is being paid to how women can empower themselves to make this time in their lives as healthy and as worthwhile as possible. One person who helps women do that is my guest, Amita Sharma. Amita founded and runs a holistic platform called Nourish Doc that offers personalized wellness programs and workshops for middle-aged women. And she's here to help us navigate how we can successfully manage our bodies in this important phase of our lives. So, welcome to Dream Power Radio, Amita.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I love the work that you're doing, empowering women to realize their dreams, their confidence, and that all ties into this phase of life that we are going to talk about, the midlife, when the perimenopause starts, inching towards the menopause and postmenopause.
Yeah, and I just wanted to start out with just a brief definition because you do focus on premenopause or perimenopause. And to be honest with you, I didn't know much about perimenopause when I was going through it. And I mean, it wasn't something my OBGYN talked about with me. And in fact, I didn't realize my body was going through changes at that time. So let's start off by just talking about what perimenopause is and how it affects us.
Yeah, it's a taboo topic for many years, as you rightfully mentioned. So perimenopause is actually a transition phase when your periods are going to become irregular, inching towards menopause, where the cessation of your periods basically stop at menopause. Now, you are technically in menopause if you haven't had a period for 12 months, consecutive 12 months. So and that becomes your menopause, like for 12 months, you haven't had a period, that is your menopause birthday date or whatever you want to call it, right? Now the phases could be 7 to 10 years, or maybe for some women more. When you start getting not your regular periods the way we have been used to, 28 days, it could be 21, it could be longer, it could be shorter. That's the perimenopause, when your hormones are going to start inching, playing a dance, like going a rock and roll. And then you start noticing all the symptoms of what we call about hot flashes and so many other symptoms during this perimenopause and beyond.
So what are some of those symptoms that would be attributed to perimenopause?
It's actually, I don't want to scare your audience here, but I just want to state the facts. The facts are, there are over 37 plus symptoms that are recorded a woman can go through. Can you believe it? In addition to, if you can imagine a woman in 40s having some kids, right? Most of us have kids, growing kids. We also need financial because the kids have to be fed to college or whatever. So in addition to that, these symptoms start stressing us. Some of the common symptoms most of us know is hot flashes, night sweats, not being able to sleep at night, stress is very common. Then also some skin issues, skin eruptions can happen, your hair thinning can happen, your pelvic health can go a little bit crazy. your urinary infections, your libido can go down, your mental health, like brain fog. I'm telling you, I don't want to scare. But this could happen, seriously. Your memory, you could say short-term memory lapse, So all these, can you imagine dealing with all these along with your teenage kids, and you become like a complete wreck, right? I mean, your home could be a complete wreck.
It's enough to make you go nuts for sure.
Absolutely.
And well, what can women do to sort of help minimize these issues? I mean, obviously, your period's going to stop. It's part of life. You're not going to change that. But some of these other effects, I mean, can they be minimized? Or
Absolutely. So, so there is hope. Hormonal imbalance is bringing the balance to your hormones, the female sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone. That's all the technical terms. I'm not a medical doctor, but I've learned enough to talk about these two hormones are the ones that are going down as we progress through perimenopause. So hormonal imbalance is very important. Changing your lifestyle, changing your diet, exercise routine, limiting some of the things that you are used to eating, all those things. That's what we talk about, is embracing a holistic lifestyle becomes very, very important, irrespective of the fact if you want to take HRT or you don't want to take HRT, right? HRT is hormone replacement therapy with, gynecologists or some women who cannot cope up with these symptoms. They might be recommended. But irrespective of that, we as women need to understand our bodies and need to change our lifestyle completely and embrace a holistic lifestyle to make sure that we can prevent chronic conditions post-menopause.
absolutely. And I was going to ask you about the subject of hormone replacement therapy, because as somebody who takes a holistic attitude toward our lives, I would think also some things like diet and exercise could alleviate the need for hormone replacement therapy, or is that a naive assumption on my part?
So, and this is a very controversial topic, hormone replacement therapy. Some of the people, or some of the researchers, some of the doctors you might talk to, they might say, well, everyone needs a hormone replacement therapy, right? Because the hormones are depleting. And we know the fact that there's a chronic condition that has escalated. For example, specifically in women, the osteoporosis, bone density goes down as we age. We know that is a fact. And then heart condition, heart health, weight, all those issues, right? The chronic conditions are on the rise. So some of the doctors, some of the researchers might say every woman should have a hormone replacement therapy. Now, I am not a doctor, but I could say that there is enough research that says that if you embrace the right kind of diet, the exercise, and some of the other holistic therapies, including acupuncture, acupressure, Ayurveda, naturopathy, herbs, supplements, the right type of supplements, right? Don't just start doing whatever, by yourself. That can definitely help you maintaining the hormonal balance. The trick is estrogen and progesterone, you're no longer producing babies, right? We are no longer producing babies at the age of, whatever. So now that the estrogen and progesterone are the baby making, when we are younger. So now when they go down, the trick is to maintain the balance between these two hormones. Now, if you start putting in more estrogen and progesterone, you don't need so much to produce more babies, is what I'm trying to say. The trick is to maintain the balance between these two hormones, right? So I think it depends on the gynecologist or what your doctor says. But what I can say from the researchers that I have interviewed, the research that I have read, is that all the holistic therapies now have enough clinical trials that can alleviate so many of the symptoms and help you balance your hormones, what we are talking about. For example, yoga, meditation, ton of research has been done. On herbs and supplements and some of the food items, ton of research has been done. Even essential oils, hypnosis, hypnotherapy, even some of the Ayurveda practices, acupuncture, acupressure practices. A lot of research, we have the research available now if we use it carefully.
And you also talked about changing eating habits. So what kinds of foods are the kind of foods that would help us in this change of life?
Mhm. Yeah, nutrient dense foods, right? You want to give energy. See, we women have been programmed with this diet kind of a culture, right? That we need to look in a certain way. The thing is, you should not diet at all during this time. You need the energy, the right type of energy. So your body has the nutrients, right? You don't want to starve yourself of the nutrients. What we are generally, most of the women end up doing in their 20s and even 30s or even beyond, what you want to do is nourish your body with the right type of nutrients like protein. You need to uptake your protein. So protein will help you get through the entire day. Also, your healthy fats, you need to incorporate that. For example, avocado, ghee, all these things, you need to incorporate the healthy fats, fish. So carbohydrates, you limit it, but don't completely eliminate. You can eat the complex carbohydrates. So things like that. And then caffeine, alcohol, you need to get rid of it. Processed foods needs to be out of your life. White breads, sugar, all these things have to be saying bye-bye. Red meat, limited. Increase the plant-based diet, that's recommended because easy to digest. Our gut health becomes a little bit more crazy as we start aging. So you need foods that you're easy for you to digest. Meat is a little bit difficult to digest. So these kind of things, you start incorporating it slowly and you'll feel the difference in your energy, right? Your metabolism. Because we always say, oh my God, my metabolism has gone down. Oh my God, I'm putting on weight and my abdominal weight bloating, right? Most of the women have these issues. So these are some of the things.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't really realize that what they put into their bodies affects how their bodies are going to react.
Yes, unfortunately, there's no one weight loss medicine or one menopause medicine that I can say, okay, start taking this and you're going to be beautiful and everything is going to go perfectly fine. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not opposed medicine at all, but what I'm saying is that if you don't take care of your body, in terms of food and exercise and some of the things we're talking about, then slowly, as you start inching, you're going to join 50% of the women who have one chronic conditions over 55 years old. Unfortunately, you're going to be one of them and you don't want to be one of them, right? The data is shocking and alarming in United States and in fact, all over the world for that matter.
No, you don't. And on that note, we are going to take a short break. We are speaking about perimenopause and menopause with Amita Sharma, and we'll be right back. I hope you're enjoying the powerful insights I bring you every week on Dream Power Radio. Now, there's a way to get more. Sign up to be a subscriber. You'll get sneak previews of upcoming shows, exclusive access to material not heard on the podcast, and special giveaways designed to uplift your dreaming life. Become a Dream Power Radio subscriber today. Sign up now by clicking on the Support the Show link in the show notes.
Welcome back to Dream Power Radio with your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman.
Yes, welcome back to Dream Power Radio. I'm your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman, and we're talking about menopause and perimenopause with Amita Sharma. Well, Amita, it seems like menopause is actually coming on earlier for a lot of women than it did like several generations ago. Is there anything that could be done to prevent the early onset of menopause?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And menopause is also very culture specific and ethnic specific. And some of the culture and ethnic women are getting menopause 6 to 7 years earlier than it should come at the age of 51. So a lot of it is related to the stress and the lifestyle, and also if they have been subservient as a society. For example, Muslim women in Sudan, they get in mid-40s as an example, or in other cultures like in India, even there, women get menopause in their mid-40s. Now, United States is 51, 52, but Latino and African-American women, even in the United States, get it earlier. So a lot of it has responsibility of family, stress levels, lifestyle, all that you need to incorporate. And I mean, you need to really start changing yourself if you don't want to get into the earlier menopause age.
And would you say that stress is like the number one factor?
Stress and lifestyle, right? And what you're eating, because if you're eating junk food, if you can't afford to buy organic or just fresh fruits and vegetables, so you don't have time to cook, all these factors will take into the place. So stress, your lifestyle, what you're eating, and in some of the countries, as I said, in Muslim countries and some of the other countries, women are a little bit more subservient. They are not they're not I shouldn't use the word allowed, but it's like a hidden thing that they're not kind of opening up their emotional digestion. So all these factors will play with your body and get you to where you don't want to be.
So if you do things like try to alleviate your stress and eat healthier, you think that can help?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So it's all stress, right? If women are not first-class citizens in some of the countries, then of course there's some kind of a hidden stress that's hitting in your head that you're supposed to act in a certain way, but you're not yourself. So emotional digestion, venting up your feelings, getting the stress out. It's all stress, right? It's all chronic stress. And of course, eating right and movement. All these things will help in not getting you earlier than you're supposed to be. Because what happens is you're reaching a destination earlier, right? The problem is, it's not like a race, right? That, I'm earlier than someone else's, right? The
Right.
problem in this one is, I'm trying to make it a little lighter because I don't want it to be so serious for women who, when they hear the podcast, is the problem is your hormones also will decline earlier than they're supposed to. And then there are other ramifications that we don't understand.
And is there any way to change the change in our hormone levels, or is that just part of the natural process?
So I mean, the hormone replacement therapy is there. One should absolutely then go to your physician. But from what I have done the research, earlier menopause, like really early menopause, like in the mid-30s, now that is now serious because that's now affecting fertility. So for that, women have to go to hormone replacement therapies if they want to start a family because the hormones are getting depleted. Now, as soon as earlier menopause and Charity, I'm not going to comment because I don't think there's that much research right now, to my knowledge, that's available that if you start taking hormone replacement therapy early on, your menopause will be at age 50. But there's not that much research, that has been done in women's health. It's very unfortunate.
It is. Let's talk a bit more now about the actual symptoms of menopause. What can be done, or can anything be done to alleviate symptoms such as hot flashes, for example?
Yeah, hot flashes, you can do a lot. So first of all, and hot flashes suddenly starts happening and sometimes you can't control it. But there are some breathing practices, what we call cooling breath, that can help contain the hot flashes. Also wearing loose clothing. I mean, that's something that, women can do. But in addition, having some kind of a simple herbs, so you need to talk to some kind of a naturopathic doctor, a functional medicine doctor, some kind of a herbal supplements that can help with hot flashes and regulate the temperature in your body. And also eating certain kind of a food to pacify the heat inside your body, right? So I think there's certain kind of a diet is what I'm saying that one should definitely get a consultation with a naturopathic doctor that a certain type of diet can be done, which is cooling in nature. Also some kind of a cooling pranayama, what I'm calling about the Shitli pranayama in particular. That's what they call it is cooling breath that helps you immediately cool down with your breath, with your tongue roll out and you're kind of breathing through your tongue. It's called Shitli pranayama, and also some herbs and supplements. And then, funnily, one person I talked to, she had a cooling bra. So you can wear the cooling pads, to help you cool down. So these are the things, but more importantly, I think it's your holistic lifestyle and getting rid of junk foods and all the other things we talked about. But then that is not instant, right? If someone is looking for an instant relief from hot flashes, then you have to go with herbal supplements or some kind of a medication. But if you're looking for a holistic lifestyle, it takes time. It's not an instant thing that suddenly I start eating right and tomorrow my hot flashes are gone. It might take a month or two.
Understood. Another symptom that very often happens around menopause is hair loss.
Mm-hmm.
What, if anything, could be done about that?
Hair loss is also due to the hormonal fluctuations, right? Because of our hormones, estrogen and progesterone, when they start going down, we have issues with the skin, wrinkles, and hair loss. I'm also losing hair. But on the other hand, there are actually a lot of things you can do. You can also topical oils, a certain type of topical oils like bringaraj oil. It's an Ayurvedic formulation. Also some kind of a rosemary oil. There's a lot of oils, topical oils that can be put on the hair to help. Also biotin, having foods that are rich in biotin can also help. And balancing your hormone. Again, it's all about hormones, right? So if you somehow bring your hormones in balance, the trick is the balance. The hormones are going down, but the estrogen cannot be higher than the progesterone. And when that imbalance happens, all those things that you're seeing, the whole hair loss, right? So these things you can do, applying some topical oils, like I said, nourishing your body with the right kind of biotin related foods, throw some spinach, making sure hormones are balanced. These things can be reversible, believe it or not. And collagen and biotin, these are the herbal supplements that women should consult with their naturopathic doctor. But if you take all these things, hair is something that you can grow. It's not that you will start losing and you won't bring it back, but you have to be proactive with it.
Another important issue for menopausal women is maintaining quality sex life. So,
yes.
What kind of advice do you have for women to keep their libidos going as they age?
Yeah. And that is important and we don't talk about it. And that part of our body, and that part of our body is part of our body, right? So sexual health is very important because it helps releasing these happy hormones. There is science about it. So I think pelvic health, strengthening your pelvic health, to answer your question, that is so important. It's not much emphasis has been given to the maintenance and of your pelvic health area right there. Lubricants and vaginal health, doing some exercises to make sure your pelvic health is good. That, also, again, your hormones, emotions are also connected with your sexual health, believe it or not, right? So it's all interconnected. So again, maintaining your pelvic health, there are some exercises, some yoga poses, some physiotherapist has some exercise that you can do to maintain your pelvic health, and as well as having your emotions and hormone balance. This is, again, your hormonal balance can play havoc to all of your things that we are talking about, the sexual health, the hair loss. So maintaining a good hormonal balance and also letting your emotions out is very important. Suddenly everything bubbles up by the time women get 40. They said, oh my God, I've been just taking care of my family, my kids. I haven't done anything myself. So I think letting go of that as well, emotional digestion. But there's another thing that women can do, believe it or not, there's in research on orgasmic meditation. There is a meditation it's called orgasmic meditation.
Really?
That women can, yes, they can do. And also some yoga poses called tantra yoga that has certain poses to activate that whole area. And also some muscles. So these are the things that there is a whole pelvic health, strengthening of your pelvic health muscles, and also doing certain type of meditation and yoga poses can help with the sexual health.
Oh, I'd like to know more about that.
Yes, that's another podcast talking just about how to get into that.
Very much. So, Amita, what led you to create Nourish Doc?
So, also suffered actually, I started having perimenopausal symptoms, which I had no clue of the word perimenopause. And I was kind of embarrassed at a lot of times when these suddenly hot flashes started happening in meetings where I did not think that it would happen. And my flow was like a tap. So all these things started happening to me. And and millions of women, I didn't want to tell anyone. I wanted to keep it to myself, all these emotions. And it started bothering me to all the things that you're talking about. Everything started happening to me. Then slowly, I realized when I started doing research that majority of the women keep bottled up. They don't talk about perimenopause. And that is when I started looking into it. And I said, no, someone has to stand up and start talking about it openly in a scientific, in a research way, so that women start taking care of themselves. So that's it was not like a one day switch. It was a slow journey. Like millions of women, I was afraid to age as well. I was afraid to get old. We women are like that, unfortunately. We don't want to lose old. So
I think it's a very important point you just made, that we don't have to fear getting old, or getting older. Put it that way.
yes, we women fear that we will become unattractive. There's a lot of physical attributes that are associated with the woman's body when they're young, and then as women start getting older. It's a lot of how the society has kind of brainwashed and positioned women in a way, right? If you think about it. And perimenopause is something we don't want to talk about. And we again now start putting on weight, losing hair. All those things start happening to a lot of women. So I said, I need to start researching into the holistic lifestyle. And what I mean by holistic is that women need to take care of themselves on a daily basis. Not like you pop a pill and you're going to be again what you were when you were 20 years old. That's never going to happen. But you can make an effort, a conscious effort, to take care of yourself on every single day using a holistic lifestyle. And that's when I decided, okay, I need to do something. I'll bring out an app or bring out awareness about this entire topic that's kind of a taboo. It's in most of the world, actually, majority of the world, it's still considered taboo and a stigma attached to it.
But it's a great service that you are offering to women everywhere. So, Amita, do you have any final thoughts for our audience?
Yeah, women should really prioritize themselves. They have done enough service to their families, to their loved ones. But I think it's time, this particular time when they're entering perimenopause, is something that they need to take care of themselves. They need to nurture themselves for their self-esteem, self-confidence, self-love, whatever you want to call it. So that's really embracing a holistic lifestyle is what I want to end up with.
Very important. And Amita, how can people find out more about you and your work?
Yeah, so people can go up to our website, www.nourishdoc.com. The app is coming out literally in few weeks now. The app will be super affordable for every woman to really understand what's going on in their body. So the app will be out, but go to our website or reach out to us through our social. We are everywhere on the social media as well.
Okay, so the information about the app will be on your website.
Yes, and that people can download and play around. And the pricing would be less than $10 a month, so that women, it will be super affordable. It has been done in collaboration with all evidence-based natural therapies, holistic therapies. So women feel very confident that, yes, if I do this or if I eat this, then I should be able to get on a journey towards a day-to-day daily routine, what we were talking about.
Well, Amita, thank you so much for being on Dream Power Radio today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, we have been speaking about menopause and perimenopause with Amita Sharma. I hope you've enjoyed today's program. If so, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Until next time, this is Debbie Spector-Weissman saying, sweet dreams, everybody.
You've been listening to Dream Power Radio with your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman. For more information on Debbie or to sign up for her newsletter, go to dreampowerradio.com. This has been Dream Power Radio.